The government is scrapping the second practical test for a full licence, and if you're under 25, you'll have to spend longer on your learners, 12 months instead of 6. But will these reforms make our roads safer? Joining me now is Dylan Thompson, road safety spokesman for AA. We'll get to Chris Bishop after 8 o'clock. Dylan, good morning.
Good morning.
So what's your verdict? Safer or will we be worse off?
No, I don't think we're going to be worse off. We ended up with a reasonable balance here. So the original proposal from the government was just looking at removing that full licence test and not doing much else at the learner stage. The AA and other organisations said to them, look, you can't just do that. That would potentially be really damaging to road safety. We need to look at doing more in that learner period. And we've seen some changes made. So now we're looking at going to that 12-month learner period instead of 6 months, or people will have the opportunity to bring it shorter to 6 months, but to do that, they're going to have to clock up a certain number of practice hours or some professional training. Most other countries around the world only have one test, but they do require more at that learner stage. So this is bringing New Zealand more in line with other countries.
When do you, they don't call it learners for nothing, I suppose. When do you actually learn the most? Is it the first few weeks, the first few months of when you are, being taught how to drive? Is it possible to learn after 3 years of driving?
I would say that you're always learning in a way. The evidence shows that once you get to about 60 hours of supervised practice, that is when you start to see some big improvements in crash rates. So most countries that we've looked at overseas require at least 60 hours of supervised practice before people can get the equivalent of their restricted licence in New Zealand and start driving solo. Some countries require up to 120 hours of practice. So we're really hoping at the AA that when the government announces how many hours practice will be required to get that 6-month learner, that it's going to be at that 60-hour level. So somewhere around 60 hours plus, Ryan, is where you actually start to see the crash rates come down amongst learner drivers.
Does it matter who's teaching you?
Well, I think that it does. Ideally, we would love to see everybody that can in New Zealand get some professional training, because it is very, very different dealing with a professional instructor than your parents or friends or whoever it is. But we know that not everybody can do that. And the key thing is really having a lot of time. It takes a long time to become a good driver. And so it is fine practicing with mum and dad or whoever it is, but you need to do it a lot. It's not something that you can just do a few drives, going out occasionally. It's a skill like anything else that we've got to work at, and I think in New Zealand for a long time we haven't treated that seriously enough.
Here's hoping we do that a little more from here on out. Dylan, thank you. Dylan Thompson, road safety spokesman for AA.